The world is watching, and from Bamako to Baltimore, from Kinshasa to Kingston, the message is loud and clear. General Michael Langley, keep your hands off President Ibrahim Traoré. But who is Michael Langley, and why is the world wanting him to stay away from Burkina Faso? Let's break it down.
I really wanted to talk to you this week because it's a difficult subject, this, for me as a white man to raise. But I saw this house Negro head of AFRICOM, a black African American, threaten to kill the great leader of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. And it made me so mad, I reached out for Nico House for a point of view on it. Did you see it? And what do you think of it?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, let me say congratulations, George, on all the success that you've been having. It's well deserved. I mean, from the guests to the topics that you cover, I feel like it's not really that many people giving so much diversity. And I know that Piers Morgan is trying his best to copy you, but you know, it doesn't quite hit the same when you're not as dedicated to the truth as a presenter as you are. So let me just say congratulations on that. And yeah, absolutely. I saw Langley's comments about Ibrahim, how he's supposedly using the gold reserves to provide his own private security. And let me just say, first of all, that's not true. Second of all, if it was true, let's be honest, wouldn't it be somewhat justified considering the fact that they continue to make attempts on his life? I mean, they just recently made another failed attempt on his life. That's probably why they're upset and why they're now going out of their way to bring it to the attention of the national public to try and create this narrative, not unlike what we saw happen with Libya and Gaddafi, because Ibrahim has had that type of impact in West Africa when we're talking about not only uplifting Burkina Faso, but then uniting West African countries like Mali and Niger so that they can combat Western imperialism and the NATO allies that try to oppress them.
Well, that's right. His own bodyguards were offered $5 million to kill him. Now, it's no coincidence that the money involved was dollars. The United States and France are determined to do to Captain Traore what they did to so many others. In Burkina Faso, to the great Thomas Sankara, in the Congo, to the great Patrice Lumumba, and so many other leaders that they have dispensed with extreme prejudice because their own interests were threatened by an African leader who's actually governing in the interests of his own people and not of the empire.
Have you guys seen what's going on between these two? This is WHlTE. He is the president of the Ivory Coast. In the Ivory Coast, they have been accused of a failed coup attempt against Ibrahim Traoré. This just happened last week. And this is General Langley. He called out Ibrahim Traoré by name. Some people say it was a smear campaign. And believe it or not, these two have teamed up. You can see Langley, he went to go visit the Ivory Coast to meet the president. And they're even taking a photo shoot together. You can see Langley sitting on the couch with the president. This is all very public. There's no secrets behind their relationship. Langley even got an award during this visit. Do you guys think these two are plotting something? It seems a little odd. They met up shortly after all that stuff just happened to Ibrahim Traoré. I don't think that's a coincidence, but let me know what you guys think. Comment below.
Russia has just delivered their second bunch of military equipments in Burkina Faso. Now, why are Russia doing all this? You see, there have been a lot of terrorists in the northern part of Burkina Faso. And these terrorists have also been planning to go to Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso. Why are they heading to Ouagadougou? They are planning to go up to the presidential palace in order to eliminate Captain Ibrahim Traoré. And it's alleged that these people have been sent by both France and some powerful leaders from the West. And also, there's also here another president of a certain African country who is really pushing for the elimination of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Now, let me ask you these people. Do you think by Russia delivering all these military equipments in Burkina Faso, will the security in Burkina Faso be stabilized? Because you see, there have been a lot of terrorist activity in Burkina Faso, and these terrorists, their main point of interest is to eliminate Captain Ibrahim Traoré. They are trying much as they can to eliminate Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
I've heard some people talk so nicely about Thomas Sankara, but they are not saying the same about Captain Traore. They support Thomas Sankara because he's not there. They don't want to support Captain Traore, who is there, a son, a disciple of Thomas Sankara. The brave men and women of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso deserve our respect, deserve our support. I'm saying brave because what they are doing requires courage. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the cowards who grovel before imperialism. I've heard some people talk so nicely about Thomas Sankara, but they are not saying the same about Captain Traore. They support Thomas Sankara because he's not there. They don't want to support Captain Traore, who is there, a son, a disciple of Thomas Sankara. Comrades, what is going on here is a revolutionary process that needs our support, that needs to be defended, that needs to be advanced with all the tenacity, with all the courage it takes. Some of us come from places, come from countries where they believe the periodic elections they hold are the only way for people's participation. But they forget, or we forget, that in a truly free world, democracy takes many forms of expression. It's not only one form of expression. You can vote with a pencil, and in some places, people have voted with their blood. The brave men and women of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso deserve our respect, deserve our support. I'm saying brave because what they are doing requires courage. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the cowards who grovel before imperialism. The challenges they face are huge. The risks they have taken are immense. And it requires determination, it requires resoluteness, it requires a greater love for one's people and humanity in general. We are here to witness the transformation of this region. We are here to render solidarity to a place, an area of our continent that deserves it and needs it most. What is happening here is a big light being shown around the whole continent. Niger Mali and Burkina Faso are showing us the way. They are lighting the way for all of us to take. How we get there may differ, but what they are doing here, you can't avoid it. Whether you are an elected government or you have come through the military way, you can't avoid the transformations going here. They are asserting themselves in a manner that has not been done before. Imperialism is in panic. Imperialism is in shock. They didn't expect this. They didn't expect this boldness. They didn't expect this resolutness. They didn't expect this clarity. Speaker after speaker this morning was very clear on what is being done here, what is being advanced here, what is being promoted here, what is being defended here. They were very clear. And this clarity needs to be respected. This clarity needs to be embraced. This clarity needs to be explained further and further and further and further and further, and made more simpler and simpler and simpler to all our people on this continent and the diaspora. A lot can be said about what is going on here, and many have already said it. I don't want to bore you with repetitions. All that I can say is let's embrace what is going on here. Let's dedicate a lot of time to what is going on here. Let's provide what is going on here with the moral and political support. There are many answers, there are many questions that need answers. Let's work with our comrades here to provide the answers that are needed. A country dominated by another country can never be able to be democratic. You can't build democracy in a country that is dominated by another country, that is a neo-colony of another country. For you to start talking about democracy, you have to get rid of neo-colonialism. It's a condition. We heard at the opening session of this conference this morning, speaker after speaker, including the Prime Minister of Niger, they were talking about the struggle for their independence. They were talking about the struggle for sovereignty. Sovereignty for what? Independence for what? Independence from who? Independence from who? It's the independence from those who dominate us today. It's the independence from those who neo-colonize us today. It's independence from those who subjugate us today. Without that independence, you cannot talk about democracy. The elections we hold in all these neo-colonial states have not taken us anywhere. For more than 5-6 decades, we have been holding elections in some of these territories of Africa. Where have those elections taken us? Nowhere. Why? Because we are colonies. We are neo-colonies. We are dominated by others. And you cannot have meaningful democracy without total independence, as it was said this morning. We need total independence. There are some who despise, who look down upon what is going on in the Sahel today, because it's being carried by men and women in uniform, called the military. But comrades, this is the liberation struggle. And no country in the world, truthfully speaking, including the United States itself, did not liberate itself, which did not liberate itself by the use of the military, by the use of armed men and women. That's what happens when there's national liberation. People who command the use of force step in. And what is going on here cannot be said to be undemocratic when you compare it with the sham elections that are being held across the continent, with the political parties that compete with each other without any meaningful agenda, without any meaningful purpose, other than the use of millions and millions of dollars to deceive the people, to bribe the people. The changes going on here today cannot be carried out without the will of the people, without the support of the people. It's impossible. These are not mere military coups. These are revolutionary processes with a very, very high level of people's support and people's participation. In the opening session today, we had leaders of our people from all walks of life. We had the traditional leaders, we had the religious leaders, and others. People participate in political processes through their authentic leaders. And when those leaders are there, you cannot deny that there's people's participation. We had Islamic leaders today, we had a Catholic bishop today, we had all sorts of traditional leaders today participating in our conference. This is truly a conference of the people in a country that is trying to transform itself, that is trying to liberate itself. It is impossible not to support what is going on today here. If you are truly a Democrat, if you are truly progressive, if you are truly a socialist.
General Michael Langley is the head of US AFRICOM, United States Africa Command. Officially, AFRICOM claims to promote peace and security on the continent. But for many Africans and observers around the world, AFRICOM is seen as a tool of US military and political control, a modern phase of imperialism. Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has made one thing crystal clear: Africa will no longer be a playground for foreign interests. He kicked out French troops, called for an end to neo-colonial currencies, and is demanding full African control of African resources. And that, right there, is why some global powers see him as a threat, not because he's dangerous, but because he's liberated. Black people around the world, activists, scholars, artists, and everyday citizens are uniting to say, hands off Traoré. They see what is coming. They have seen it before with Lumumba, Sankara, Gaddafi, revolutionary African leaders who were targeted, undermined, or even eliminated when they challenged foreign domination. History teaches us that anytime an African leader rises to defend their people's independence, they are suddenly labeled radical, unstable, or dangerous. Then come the sanctions, the intelligence operations, the coups, the assassinations, and the people left to start over. The warnings are not threats, they are truth. The African continent is waking up, and so is the diaspora. The old playbook will not work this time. General Langley and AFRICOM must understand any attempt to destabilize Traoré will not go unchallenged by the global black community. This is not just about one man. It is about sovereignty, it is about freedom, it is about dignity. The more people become aware, the harder it is to manipulate. The more we speak up, the stronger the resistance. And the louder the voices across the diaspora, the more protection leaders like Traoré have. General Langley, AFRICOM, and any foreign power watching, stay out of Burkina Faso. Let the African people shape their destiny. The era of silence is over. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.